SchmutzCast 11.
Take two.
Take two.
Our first take was like 30 seconds, but it was ass.
It was ass. So we go for quality here.
Right. Quality or quantity, boys?
Either or, you know. The
a
quantity.
fair balance.
A fair balance?
Once a week's a good quantity.
Like for Christmas time, right? Did your parents, were they ever like, do you want quality or quantity? Because my parents would ask me, they'd be like, do you want a lot of presents or like a couple big presents?
I mean, really, it was just like, I don't know, it was usually just like quality.
You're like, oh, they just got me shit and I accepted it.
Well, no, it was like, my big thing was, like, I'm a gamer. I've always been a fucking gamer.
Sure.
Anytime a new console came out that I wanted, I would ask for it for Christmas. So I'd end up getting it for Christmas and then a couple games, and then, like, you know, maybe other kids would be getting, like, a shit ton of these gifts of toys or whatever the fuck. But I was fine with it because, I mean, fuck. A game console is a never-ending source of entertainment.
Usually me and my brother and sister, we'd always just get, like, one significant item that was, like, over $50. And then the rest was just, like, little things. Like, 4 other things that were, like, 20.
Mm.
My mom liked to go to, you know how if you go into Dillard's, how they have the little tables of the knick-knack kind of gift things, like little games.
Like that.
Yeah. It was like you get one big thing and then you get a bunch of those, a bunch of those.
Yeah, my parents' thing was like the console, a couple games, and then my favorite candies.
Nice.
Yeah, a whole lot of candy.
Whole lot of
stockings
candy.
And shit.
Mm.
Yeah.
We have a tradition where we'd always give each other scratchers.
Oh, my dad's side
That's
of
a
the
good
family does
tradition.
that for Christmas.
There's one time I won like $100 on one. I was like,
Really?
I was like, fuck you,
That's
Katie.
fire.
I was like, I'm not sharing my money.
So with your all's family, that's a good question about Christmas. With your all's family, how was stockings? Was it candy?
It depends.
It was mostly candy, but there'd be like other little things in there. Like occasionally my mom or dad would throw scratchers in there. That was pretty rare though. It was mostly just candy.
Yeah.
Like
so
gum
like
and
was
shit.
yours candy as well?
A lot, yeah. It'd just be like candy, like little knickknacks.
What was your stockings as a kid?
Mine was. I'd actually prefer to talk about the stockings that I get now, because it's almost like I'm still a kid. There are shooters in there sometimes.
I can see your mom.
My mom definitely gets some. She got me like some peanut butter whiskey.
Oh, that's cool.
One time like a little peanut butter. Oh, it's good, dude. It's some good stuff. But now it's like I get a lot of the same stuff as so I have nieces and a nephew, nieces that live with us right now. And they always get like yo-yos or like little spinning tops and stuff.
You get yo-yos too, right?
I get the exact same stuff as all them.
no
I get all those little toys like that.
Fire for real.
Yo-yos.
Because I get to
Yo-yos
so.
are cool.
Because I mean I'm the closest to them and I'm the fun uncle, so
Sure.
you know I'm getting all the toys that they're getting, so I can play with the toys with them.
That's cool. That's a
Right.
cool thing.
No, that's a good uncle.
Yeah.
Good uncle, right
The
there.
whole thing with my parents, they always were like, our stockings were candy, and that was like a really cool part, is like when you got into the stockings, you would get like your favorite candies or like something new that you've never had before. Well, Megan, I figured out, she was like confused when I said that I got candy in my stocking.
What?
They didn't do candy in the stocking.
What'd they do?
Yeah.
I don't know exactly. Like, they're usually, like, sometimes if their big expensive gift was smaller, it would go in the stocking.
Interesting.
Like, it's different. Like I think
That's
her or her
disappointing.
brother got AirPods in a stocking one time or
Damn.
something like that.
I mean,
That's awesome.
That's pretty fucking cool. But I never, like, and that's not hating on people that get gifts
It's
in
just
stockings.
different.
It's just different.
Sure.
But,
Different
like,
people-
like I
different
didn't never
families do different
know
things.
anything like that. And I
Different
never
strokes for
asked
different
other
folks.
kids, like, what they got in their stockings. That was the least of my concern when I asked friends what they got for Christmas.
Yeah.
Like, I never even thought to ask what was in the stocking. So, like, when she brought that up, I was like, that's interesting. I never really thought about how people would do the stocking differently.
Huh.
Well, I mean, I know we always did like stockings first too. Like especially like when my sister had moved out already. It would still be like Christmas morning, but it would just be me and my brother. So my mom would always make us wait for my sister and brother-in-law to get there. So mom would be like, "Well, you guys can't open any gifts, but you guys can go ahead and start digging through the stockings," because it was always like little things like candy and stuff. But I don't know. That's interesting.
Did your parents ever like trick you with bigger boxes than what the gifts were?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got that
my
shit.
mom
I
loves
love
to
that
do
shit.
My,
That's
bro-
so
my brother and I
fucking
do that to each other still.
Like you get a big box. Like my parents would always do the big box and then fill it with like fucking like towels from the bathroom or something, and then put a game inside of it.
Nice.
And I thought that was always neat.
My favorite reoccurring thing that hasn't happened in a couple years was like a few years ago. I got my brother this. I was just gonna get him a gift card to something. I don't remember what it was, but I needed something else to put with it. And I saw this thing. It was called potty golf, and it was like this rug that goes around the toilet.
No, it was a potty putter.
Potty putter.
The potty
that's what it
putter.
was. And it came with like a little putter and a ball, and it's like a rug that goes around the toilet, and it has a little hole that you hit the ball into while you're taking a shit. And, I got that for him one year, and then the next year he re-gifted it to me, doing the same thing.
Awesome.
And it was reoccurring for about 3 years, and I still have it actually. I think it's in my possession
All right,
now.
here we go. This is the year.
This year,
My-
I think I'm gonna.
Yeah, give it right back.
I forgot about that.
So nobody
somehow.
ever opened it.
I did, because I was curious what it looked like. But that thing would get real fucking gross real fast.
Yeah.
So like, it's,
With Benny in our house, we could not have
oh, Benny
that.
would
I
take a
would
piss
put my
on
foot
it.
down.
He
yeah.
would piss on it.
Oh, dude, he would do all sorts of nasty shit all over it, dude.
My mom one year she got me like a decent sized TV because I did have just a real small TV for the longest time. So Christmas I got a decent sized TV,
Yeah.
and there was a big box there, and I kind of like jokingly I was probably maybe like a junior or senior in high school. Jokingly I was like, oh, wonder who that big present is for there, huh? Ha ha ha, kind of laughing, and she was like, oh no, that one's for Jackie or someone, said someone else, and she actually put like someone else's like name on it until Christmas morning. I woke up and we were like kind of going through, and they were like, oh, this one says to John. I was like, no, it doesn't. And they're like, yeah, it does. And I was like, I looked at the tag, no, it doesn't. And then I looked at it again, and sure enough, they changed the tag on it the last minute,
Parents
the
are
last
so
day.
cool, dude.
I was like, you jackasses.
Like,
Your mom seems like she'd be slick about that shit when it comes to Christmas time.
My mom she's slick about stuff like that, but she's also the worst about losing presents. She'll find a present that she'll probably find a present sometime in October that was supposed to be for last Christmas, and she'll end up just using it for this Christmas.
That's so
genius.
It's not necessarily a bad move. Like
It's
you're
not,
like,
no.
Like, fuck it, I'll give it to him this
Yeah,
year
you don't want to
instead.
drop it in the middle of the year because then you could just add that to the present list.
Yeah.
So there's I actually found something in the garage the other day that was supposed to go to my nephew for last year's Christmas, and she's like, oh well, he can get it this year.
That's fucked. That's fucking awesome. I love that.
Do they not have like a system of hiding their presents?
Have you seen how organized our house is, especially with the Kochmeyers running around?
Fair.
Well, there is a whole family plus sized, and then you and your parents. So yeah, it's gonna be a little crowded.
Yeah, it's very crowded because the system used to be where they would keep them in the basement room that was my old room,
Mm-hmm.
They would keep them in there, and they would set up, like the butler and the pirate mannequin that we have for Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
They would set that up right by the doors that would lead into there, so the kids would be too scared to go in there. So they never went in that room, and that's where all the presents were.
They keep me out today, dude. That butler's
That
weird.
butler's fucked, man.
It's something about his eyes. They're too realistic.
Dude.
The eyes are too
That thing would
realistic.
scare the hell out of me when we would get drunk at your house.
Do you remember when we
Wake
first
up in
got
the
that
middle of the
thing?
night, Look at that motherfucker.
How it worked? Like the eyes used to actually move, and the chest breathes in and out.
That's so
Yeah.
cool.
It's wild.
Well,
should
you
get one.
guys also had that damn that skeleton that you put in the bathroom, and it was
Yeah.
motion censored.
Yeah.
And it'd go, where you going?
So we actually
Every time.
we actually can't put that up anymore because my third youngest niece, Jayla, she went in there it was kind of late at night. She fell asleep in the living room. Jackie was kind of sitting up there with her, so she woke up and went into the bathroom there real quick, and that thing goes, "Hey, what are you doing?" And she freaked out. She freaked out, came out of there crying.
Oh,
I don't think she made it to the toilet.
Oh no.
With Halloween around the corner,
Oh shit, it is.
I think it's worth mentioning that John's parents, with decorating for Halloween and Christmas, they go nuts. Specifically, your
buck
mom.
wild.
She puts up so many decorations. I remember they even had a hanging bat Or was it a spider or a bat? Wasn't it a bat?
So it depends on what system we're using. So
Like, I'm talking about the front door.
He's
in the
like,
foyer.
it depends on what system we're using. It's
we have all different systems.
there's two systems that we can use. If we're just having it where it just drops straight down, where we just use one pulley system kind of idea, one wire, then it's just a spider that looks like it's kind of
Okay,
descending.
I was thinking of the spider, but I remember there being a
But
bat as well.
there's a bat where if you use two strings with like two hooks, kind of two pulley systems, where whenever you open the door, it'll swoop forward, and it'll come up like that. So
That's
Jesus.
fucking awesome.
so that's always my brother's job is to always like do that stuff, because Richard loves decorating for Halloween too.
He was
So
big in he was big in Halloween.
I
as
like
well,
the
yeah.
decorating for Halloween. Like it's neat. It's just so much fucking work, and like Megan loves decorating. I guarantee our house is gonna be fucking decked out in fall shit when we get in there. But I really don't think Halloween's gonna be one that she really digs too much. She's not gonna get the creepy decorations and shit.
Well, seasonal I get more because seasonal it can stay up for months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see her more being into not necessarily the creepy, but more the spooky stuff, like jack-o'-lanterns,
Jack-o'-lanterns,
like
yeah. like that,
I
yeah.
like
maybe like a hand, like a skeleton hand here and there, or something like
Yeah.
that.
Well, she
Chop shop stuff,
has
maybe.
had a backlog of pumpkins waiting for this moment of when we get a house, and we knew that it was probably going to be around the fall area, and she has literally a stack of fucking random sized pumpkins that she bought from like decoration shops, and so there's going to be fucking pumpkins all over that joint when we move in.
do the viewers know about the housing situation?
They do not.
Yeah, you kind of skipped right on
I
over
skipped
that.
over
huh?
that. Season 2's on the way. I'm out of this joint. This is my parents' house for anybody that was wondering.
We all were.
I still live with my fucking parents. I'm a
now.
fucking bum.
For
It is
now.
what it
Well,
is.
you've been getting fucked over the last several months with,
Yeah,
with housing
bro.
stuff.
Yeah, the housing market's kind of got me
Shitty-ass
me
realtors.
hurt, but I did get lucky, and me and Megan are moving in together. We got a house. We are closing hopefully this month, if not early next month, which is gonna be hype because then we got Thanksgiving in our own house, Christmas in our own house. It's nice to have that stuff.
Well, it's coming right about the right time too, like with Thanksgiving and Christmas. Like,
yes.
right around
I'm
the
very
corner,
thankful
kinda.
for that, just because like the way we divide with families for holidays is fucked. That's the one thing about relationships that they don't fucking warn you about. They warn you about all the other shit, which is worse or like better or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody ever mentions the fucking holiday splits, like even without kids involved. The
With
holiday
kids
splits are
involved,
tough.
I feel like it would make it even more difficult.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot in my family where like one side of the family on a marriage is like, I won't say shittier, but like they have less time spent with them, and I feel like there's a lot of groups like that even outside of my family where like one side of the family gets more of the attention on the holidays, and with me and Megan, like it is entirely equal. Like there's neither of our families are ones that we like are willing to have less time with or more time with or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's hard to divvy that out, and also like you're gonna run into a thing where neither side wants to move a time for you at all. Like
Yeah.
even if it's like an hour difference, nobody's gonna want to move that.
You gotta choose.
If you are the one that isn't, say you have a woman and you don't have kids, well your brother and sister have kids, right?
Right.
So they're gonna come first on the scheduling. If you want something changed scheduling wise, it's probably not gonna fucking happen. So that's gonna cause tension between you and your girl. Me and Megan have dealt with that every fucking holiday season, and it sucks because like, you want to have equal time with everybody, but there's not enough fucking time in the day.
Well, see, it's funny because like with me being the youngest in my family, I'm the second youngest on one side of a very large family, and the youngest on a not a very big family on my dad's side.
Yeah.
But literally both of them, it's gotten to like whenever I was probably about 16, like when I was starting to have girlfriends and like would bring them to family functions, my whole family was tired of that, so they're just like, fuck it, we'll do it 2 weeks after, 2 weeks before type of thing. So like it was never, like since you're like you don't have a real big family, do you?
My dad's side's pretty big, but they're all older now. Like when I was a kid, they were all like my dad's uncles were like close to his age. I mean, not close, but like relatively close enough. Like when my dad was 20, they were in their early 30s, like that kind of close. So like all of his uncles, his cousins, which he had a ton, like in that generation, there's like procreation out the ass, you know, there's like huge families. And his side of the family is huge, and we just don't talk to a lot of them anymore. It's just spread out so much. But the thing with Megan's family is so big, and they've stuck together. Like they still go and see like distant cousins and shit. Like distant cousins. Like Megan's
second, third cousin type.
Yeah.
thing?
Megan's great grandma just passed away recently, and they had this poster up at the front of the funeral home that showed the lineage from her all the way down to the grandkids. I think we counted like 90-something grandkids.
Damn.
Jeez.
Like grandkids, great-grandkids, and great-great-grandkids.
Wow.
90 in total.
Well,
90
especially in this area, like
Holy
these
shit.
farm families. That's what it is.
Oh,
like,
Well,
I
they
know.
had to have the kids to help them on the farm.
Exactly.
Fuck
My
yeah.
grandpa had like, oh my god, I think they had like it was like 5 brothers, like something like that. That's why there's so many
Right.
wives around
Yeah.
our area.
Well, you have eight kids, and then 2 of them fucking kick it from cholera.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I mean, it's just being real. Like,
It's
child
real.
mortality rates have gone way down from our
Oh, yeah.
parents' generations,
Yeah.
even
our
until
parents,
now.
our parents' generation was kind of like the generation where it kind of started slowing down, like the big families. Like
Yeah.
I mean, like
Yeah,
granted, my
yeah.
mom, there's 6 of them.
Oh,
Like she
yeah,
has 2 sisters and 3 brothers, so like her side's huge. Whenever like we don't really have that many functions with them anymore, just since like all my cousins and shit started having kids and stuff. So they're like,
Sheesh.
if they have people over, it's like 70 people in my grandma's house because a few of my cousins have like 4 kids now.
Damn.
So
Yeah.
like, I don't know that whole big ass families are kind of dying down a little bit. I
Yeah,
feel
my
like you don't see
dad
that
has
much anymore.
my dad has 4 brothers, and 3 of them each have 1 kid, and then my dad has 2, so there's 5 grandkids there. But then like, I mean, my sister has 2 kids, and I don't have any kids, and the other 2, like my dad is like way older than 2 of his brothers, so like there's an age difference there. Like 2 of my dad's brothers just had kids, and my dad has 2 grandkids now. So like my youngest uncle is in his early 30s, and my dad is in his 50s. So like that grouping difference, I think that separates the families a little bit. But the main reason that I brought that up was just for you all to learn from that, because I promise you it is coming down the pipeline that when you have a relationship and you both have families to see, it's gonna cause tension somewhere.
you
If it
just-
doesn't cause
you
tension
just-
with your family, it's gonna cause tension between
You
you
gotta
two.
adopt
I'm
my,
telling you,
you gotta adopt my method. You just don't take them to any family events till you're married.
That's like
That is a
old
method.
school.
That
Yeah.
is a method. That
Yeah,
is-
that's my method.
I
I'm
don't,
not
think, I
taking
don't,
you
I
to
don't think there's
family
anything wrong with that
function.
method at all, if I'm being honest.
Like you're not gonna have her meet your parents or anything?
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Like
I'm
just
not
like
taking
the
her.
family
like,
fun.
I'm not
big
taking her to
things.
meet the whole cut unless it's like serious.
Well, I know my brother-in-law and my sister, for the longest time before like we started doing the shit that I talked about, like where like they just did it on obscure days, so then like everyone could do their own thing. But they would just go to their own thing. Like there was a lot of like Christmases and stuff that my brother-in-law just didn't go to just because it was the same time. So rather than like figuring out
And
or,
did-
like trying to split it,
Yeah.
And just like out of curiosity, did your like mom seem upset about that at all?
no, she understood. But yeah, I think a lot of the people, like the personalities of my family, are all very similar to mine, being easygoing. Like, oh, okay.
Especially
Whatever.
Annette. I feel like
she would-
anything could happen, and
she-
she's just like,
Like she
Oh,
she
yeah.
was like
Nice woman.
she was sad that he wasn't there, but she wasn't like
why didn't you come?
Why weren't you there? She was like, oh man, okay. Like she was disappointed.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
she wasn't mad.
Yeah.
You know, it takes a lot to get that
I get
woman
that.
mad. I've seen her mad, but it takes a lot. Like, you know.
So John, with you've got the Kolkmeyers, and then Liz's side, and then Chuck's side. Are any of those families like? Do you all intermingle those families with your all's family in holidays, or like?
Yeah.
Maybe intermingle was a bad
No,
word.
I guess not.
So the Kolkmeyers, okay, the Kolkmeyers, they're from up like north. You know, they're probably about 3 hours away, maybe 4 hours away. So Jackie and Jamie will go up there and like for some stuff, and that's like, you know, they understand that because their family is big enough at this point where it's like they have to do their family stuff, and it's not like. Okay, so you know, back in the
live at
day.
your house, so like, it's not like
Yeah.
holidays are a huge deal if they miss a holiday.
So like think about it this way. Back in the day, our family was like, you know, if we think of like the family tree, it's like my mom and dad, right? And then we've got us 4 kids, and then they have like, you know, a couple kids, right? Well, now they've gotten big enough where it's like they've kind of shifted to where like their family, the Kolkmeyers, the 4 kids and them, that's their family. They do that stuff, whatever they need to do, which makes sense. Like if you all kind of follow where I'm going with that, instead of like it being like, oh, this is our family. Like, well, our family's getting bigger, so this is like our family. It's not saying that they're not family anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they'll go up there and they'll do stuff like up north. For Richard and Liz, Liz's family is very big. Our family's pretty
They're
big.
local though, right? They're
Yeah,
Well,
they don't usually.
His family being like the heavy like strict Catholic.
She's got 10
everyone
siblings.
Has, like huge ass families.
Holy shit!
she's
You
got
know
10
that?
siblings.
Siblings?
Oh yeah,
Holy
I've been to
shit.
one of their things. Like there's so many of them. I've only
There's-
met like 4 of them.
There's a ton of them.
Jesus.
So they kind of like, we don't really intermingle like that family stuff as much because their family stuff they already
20 people at a family function.
they already have that. They already have
What
that.
about
It's
their
nuts.
wedding? What was that like?
The wedding was huge.
It's gotta
I
be.
guarantee.
The wedding was
I remember
huge.
Richard's wedding was massive.
They did it at was it the no it was
It was in Louisville.
like the reception was at like U of L's campus. Like they had a room out. They rented a room out at U of L's campus. Like this huge room,
Damn.
right? So that family doesn't intermingle as much. I mean, you know, they'll still like come over for stuff every once in a while. Like not all of them, but like her dad and mom will come over, or like maybe her brother, one of her brothers. You know, the ones that we know better, like Jerry. So, but Chuck's family, Chuck's is different because Terry, when she was alive, his mom, she always came to all of our family stuff because his family is all really from Maine. His mom was the only one who lived here, and he had a brother and a sister, but they kind of all did their own thing.
About his dad.
His dad lives in Florida, so
So he's kind of scattered.
Chuck was always kind of coming to our family stuff, and you know we started saying like bring your mom, like bring your mother, since you know she's not doing anything. So when she was alive, you know they would do like Easter and stuff over there. Terry had her own like Easter thing that she always did, but you know since she's passed away, obviously they don't do that there. So Chuck has been really to all of our family stuff. So there's 3 very different dynamics between my siblings. So I'm curious to see what my dynamic will end up being, because I don't know.
Yeah, well, it just depends the woman that you find.
I get it.
Yeah.
At the family function, right? Do y'all still have to sit at the kids' table, or do y'all get to eat at the adult table now?
There never was a kids' table for my
For
family.
real, we always
Like,
they
we always
shut
had
the
a
kids
kids'
off
table.
in one room, and then the adults would be in the
No,
the
even
other
at my dad's side where there was like
There'd
a
be
shit
overflow
ton of
sometimes,
people,
but-
there was no kids' table.
I mean, it always used to piss me off when I'd be like 15 or 16 and be like, I want to eat at the adults' table.
I'm pretty
don't
sure
want
I was the
fucking
one
kids."
that broke that chain at my dad's side of the family, because when I was really young, and you all know I love playing cards, but my dad's family is huge gamblers. They love to play
They-
poker.
yeah, they do.
They love to go to the boat, do all that shit. So at family functions, it would always be you eat, and the husbands and men, or sometimes even the women, there's a lot of the women would play poker too.
Talking like a mafioso over here. He's like, the men would get together, but the women wouldn't.
Well, no, like
they have their own separate room with washing and cleaning.
like some of the women wouldn't want to play cards, so they'd hang out in the living room and like watch TV or like do their shit
do
over
women
there.
shit.
No, there's women at the poker table too.
But
still.
no, I feel
I'm just
'cause,
breaking
like,
the
my
balls.
family.
I'm just breaking the balls.
My family regularly kind of divides like
Yeah,
that.
and like
My family didn't.
well,
honestly.
I was a
everybody
kid and I always loved watching them play cards. So one day, I think I was probably like 7 or 8 maybe, and I wanted to play cards. So I got up there, played cards, did pretty well, and from that point on, there wasn't much of a separation. I kind of just did what everybody else did. Other than drinking the beer, I mean, I did pretty much everything.
They were like, let's see what this kid's made of. Let's see what this 9-year-old can do when he's.
9-year-old play poker like this.
I'm pretty sure the first time I was
bet
at that
everybody-
table, I did take some money.
Oh, I bet everybody clapped afterwards too.
Well, I went home.
Yeah, like whoa.
Well, I go home with like
They let your ass
$40.
win.
Start
Fuck
liking them up.
You thought you were rich
Shit,
at that
they ain't
point
let me
too.
win.
Bro, they did.
No, bro,
They
you should
did.
meet my
He's like,
dad's
no, I
family."
hustled them at 9 years old.
No,
I hustled
no,
my
I
grown
promise you.
uncles.
I promise you, my dad's family would not take that shit laying down. They would not let anybody win. They are like,
knowing you and your dad, I would imagine there was no.
no, there's no
Yeah.
bullshit there. There's like, they are staunch game players. Like
Man,
there's no joke there.
EA
Like the other day we were playing that a way out game.
Oh, yeah.
And I wanted the ending to be where like we had to pick an ending where either Jordan's character stayed alive or mine did.
Yeah,
And we had to fight to the death
Yeah.
to figure it out. Even though we were partners throughout the whole game. And at the end, like, I'm shitting on Jordan. And I was like, I really want his ending, though, because I really liked his character's story a lot better, and I wanted his to live and mine to die. But I was like, nah, I can't fucking lose,
Yeah.
though.
It really
I can't
didn't
lose the
work
whole.
out because I ended up having the much more likable character with the way that the ending unfolds, but it shouldn't have been me controlling the likable character because I am ass at those kind of games.
Yeah, we had to have a shootout, and I'm
Yeah,
just
like-
bricking him up with fucking bullet rain on him.
God,
It was basically like 1v1 Call of Duty that was third person, and I'm not good at that shit,
Yeah.
so it didn't work.
It was a pretty cool. It was a pretty cool thing. But that's me saying like, yeah, my dad and my lineage there. And no, we don't let it.
Well, I'm glad you.
I don't let
like
my
that.
nephew win. I beat his fucking ass in Mario Baseball.
right.
And like,
Oh, yeah.
he's like, Lucas is the only one that beats me, and I'm like, well, I'm promising you, I'm not gonna let you win
Fuck
because
no.
then it's that much better when you do beat me. Like when the kid beats me at a game, it makes it that much sweeter for him.
My brother never let me win.
No,
so-
fuck no. I don't want it that
Like-
way.
Yep,
Now,
same.
now me and him are competitive. It's much more fun to me.
See, my
Right.
niece,
It's way more fun.
my oldest niece, she's very competitive, as you all know. Julianne is very competitive. So, like I'll go down to the barn with her and play some basketball every once in a while. And I ain't letting her win. I'm stuffing the absolute shit out of her and everything,
It's gonna
Like
make
I'll
her a
let her
better ball player.
exactly,
right,
and she gets mad, and I'll be like, you're gonna end up beating me one day because she's already freaking good. Like she's
Yeah,
athletic
you're
as
gonna
hell.
beat me one day. Today's not
today,
that
kid.
day.
Yeah.
I'll never forget the day I beat my dad in 21 or whatever for the first time. I was like, damn.
Bro, my
It made
dad,
me feel like a man.
I played chess against my dad. My dad loves fucking chess.
He's a very
beat
He's-
And he's
Yeah.
so fucking good at chess.
Yeah.
So I played him every fucking day, every single day for months.
I remember this time. I remember
God.
this.
Every day you got your ass beat, bro.
Bro, I went ass round after ass round, just getting my ass kicked for months. And then one day, I fucking finally thought I beat him. Well, I fucking thought I won and said checkmate. And I looked at the board again. I was like, fuck yeah, that's a checkmate. And I ran around the house outside. I was that fucking hyped. And that one, it turned out that he made an illegal move, the move beforehand. And I noticed it afterwards, and I was like, okay, then that's not a legit win. So we gotta go again. And another month goes by before I actually beat him 100%. And I beat him. I was so fucking over the moon about that shit. And it would have been so much worse if he would have just let me win early on just to get my hype up.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be the same.
Probably a way better chess player for it too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like
Exactly.
I get letting people win and stuff, but like I feel like if you let someone win and they don't know it, it takes the game out of it for one person.
Mm-hmm.
But if both people are fully trying, like not like
Yeah.
pulling punches basically, it's still like interesting for both people. You know, like,
Yeah.
You know, like I don't know.
Well, Megan isn't of that mentality, and when I brought her into playing like GameCube games with me again, I had her try, and it was even on stream. I had her try Mario Baseball, Mario Strikers, Mario Golf, and shit.
Did you beat her ass in all of those?
Abso-fucking-lutely.
Oh my god.
Well, no, she did beat me in Strikers once. She did. And she beat me in Mario Baseball one time. I made a fucking shitty team, and I don't know why I made that team that way. Not a lot of chemistry. But it is what it is. She did beat me. And I told her, I said, you've beat me twice in 2 games that I love. And those 2 wins, you were over the moon about it. If I just let you win, like, that's no fucking fun. You're not going to want to play. Well, I explained that to her, and then I beat her the next time. She's like, I don't want to play this game anymore. I'm like, okay, well, it sucks if I do, sucks if I don't, I guess.
Well, what do you think about like giving them an advantage? Because
Handicaps,
an
it's
ex-
different.
I like that.
We played
Sure.
Smash Bros a lot, and
Do the
she loved playing
handicaps.
Smash Bros. And at that time, I was playing that game fucking all the time. I was pretty good.
Yeah, yeah.
And so what I would do is I would set my damage to 50% to start each life.
Yeah.
And it made the games a lot more competitive, actually.
Yeah, and I mean, like,
I did like doing that.
and the way the handicaps work in a lot of games, it makes it a lot better because of her skill level and because of your skill level, giving her the handicap, if she beats you, I mean, it still kind of is a legit win. You have more experience in the game. That makes up the gap of the experience difference.
Yeah.
That's kind of why the way they do it in golf.
I had an ex-girlfriend who was actually pretty decent at Call of Duty. Like she had brothers and
I
stuff
don't
growing
know
up.
about it, dog. I watched her play Call of Duty one time when we moved that fridge. That girl was ass. I'd have wrecked her shit.
So okay, let me
Your
say this.
ex-girlfriend too was playing, and I'd have wrecked her shit too.
Good for John, me and John's standards, because I'm
Okay.
pretty, like I said before, I'm pretty ass at shooters
Bro, I'd be
like that.
Let me back up.
360 no scopes on the.
Let me back up for a second, okay? Compared to like how I am at Call of Duty, I'm not the greatest at Call of Duty. I mean, I know my way around, like, you know, the game and stuff. But
I played before.
so, but she had a brother growing up that played Call of Duty all the time, so she played Call of Duty with him a lot, and so she had an understanding. I shouldn't say she was pretty good. She had an understanding of the game. She already kind of
She
knew.
knew the buttons.
Now, like when COVID hit and stuff, and we started playing Call of Duty like all the time, she actually got pretty good. She actually like got decent at it. But then, and there were a couple times where she beat me, you know, fair on that, and I was like, hey, you know, that's cool and stuff. But it got to the point where she was just like, yeah, I don't want to play this anymore. And I was like, okay, because I got better at the same rate that she got better.
Sure.
Exactly, and that's the thing is with the girls that I have played video games with, or even board games or whatever with in the past. If they get their shit kicked in once, it's like they have no interest in playing ever again.
Yeah.
But if they win the next time you play, you get them to play, and then they win the next time, they're like, oh, I remember, I do like this game. Kick their shit in one more time, and it's reset the fucking cycle. It's been like that.
I like when people like do like foot races against children, and they just whoop the children every single time. That's so funny.
That's me with my nieces. I'll beat their asses in the foot race. But those
stay like a half a step ahead of them just to make them think that they might have it, and then you just
swipe it out.
You just swipe it right out.
See, with something like that, I would let them stay within reach. But if they start talking shit, that's whenever. As soon as they start talking shit, that's whenever you gotta be like, all right.
Oh yeah, you got to make them learn. If you're gonna talk shit, you better back that shit.
Feel victory from the jaws of defeat.
For the race example, just start full sprint as hard as you can.
Trip one of them.
Shovel.
In our generation, man, once the shit talk happens, especially in video games, it's the 1v1 me, bro. 1v1 me. Even on the basketball court, play me 1-on-1. Like, that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Like, fucking Stilker the other day, we were playing 2-on-2s in Rocket League, and he was just giving me so much shit, and I'm like, bro, fuck you. He's like, I don't... And I said, you're doing this, this, and this, and he's like, I don't care, I'm better than you. I was like, okay, 1v1 me then. And he's like, fine, I'll 1v1 you after this game. 1v1... busted his shit. Absolutely busted his shit.
You know, like you were saying when you bust the girls like shit and all that, like, and you beat her and she's like, I don't want to play anymore. Like, I would come home from work sometimes and I'd walk in and there's the Xbox on, she's playing Call of Duty, she's playing it, she's like, I don't want to play with you anymore because you beat me, but I like playing the game.
Why is it?
And it was like,
That's fair.
she even started getting into what was that Legend of Zelda game on the Switch?
Ocarina of Time.
Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild, yeah. She even started playing that. I came home a couple times. She was playing that. I was like,
What the fuck?
awesome. Like, I'll watch this. I will watch you play this. This is awesome. I will watch you play
I
this.
get the mentality. Like, if you're getting your shit pushed in every fucking game, say it's a game you've never played before, card, board, video, whatever kind of game.
Yeah.
It's a game you've never played before, and it's somebody that's like decently good or fucking great at this game, and they just want to keep playing you so that they can just beat the shit out of you over and over again. I get the mentality of backing out of that, but there's some of those games, like she loved to play Call of Duty, but she didn't want to play it against you because you were too good. Like, you would beat her every time. That defeats the fucking purpose.
Yeah,
That defeats the purpose. If it's a game you don't play other than playing against that single person and they just wax you every fucking time, I get it.
Yeah,
I get
fuck
it.
that.
I don't want to play, I don't like playing Mortal Kombat against Ethan.
Oh,
Because
'cause he
Ethan
whoops
just
it.
cheeses the fucking
Yeah.
game, and it's
He does
annoying.
the kicks every time.
The fucking leg kicks.
The leg kicks.
Well, you gotta have the competitiveness with it. Like, it's the most fun if it's two
Well, that's-
evenly matched people and like
Yes.
it's
That's
close.
the thing with
you
Ethan,
know.
though. That's because you get 2 drinks in him, and the douchebag just starts.
He starts
making his
cheesing
way
every
right
fucking game he can.
He
I
will.
love Ethan to death.
Ethan-
We've told him this right to his face, and he
Every
goes,
bit of it.
and he goes, yeah.
If there's anything,
Yeah, absolutely.
if there's anything that Ethan is not like great at, he will do everything he can to get just at least better than you at that thing.
Just
No matter
to the
what
point
it
where
is.
it's just better than you, and then
Just
he'll
better
quit.
than you.
He'll
Yeah,
quit.
just better than you. Like, I saw it happen firsthand with Rocket League with him. Rocket League.
He's good at rock.
He got good at Rocket League. And like, hell, it was even the same way like when we would go to the gym with him. You know, and he was like, if you were like starting to catch up on him with something, like if you were like reaching his max or something like that, he'd be like, well, I gotta get more. Or like when we were doing like body boxing and stuff.
Oh my god, he took that shit. He took that shit very seriously.
Yeah.
Like, that man fucking damn near broke my jaw in the fucking gym. He was trying to get a fucking headlock on me and fucking chipped one of my teeth.
I forgot about
I did not-
those.
I've never heard of that.
That was in the
heard that.
fucking gym at the school.
school.
We had our gym cards.
Oh, we
Yeah.
would. Yeah,
I wonder if we were the reason why they took away like making it the public.
No, I
It was
think
'cause-
COVID had
It was
something to do with
COVID,
it.
plus it was someone brought a beer there.
So wait, what? Somebody
Yeah,
brought a beer
Hold
to the
up.
gym?
And they got left in there.
Yeah, they left the can in there.
I'm pretty sure I know who it is. I don't want to say, but
Yeah, you
I
too.
don't.
Well, regardless,
It don't matter
I feel
now,
like I could assume who it might be, but
Probably could.
He might be sitting in this room.
no.
No, I'm just kidding. It wasn't me. I promise.
No,
But-
I don't drink beer.
Competitiveness is what drives fucking everything, really. Money. Fucking money drives
Yeah.
everything, but there's competition with money all the fucking time.
He's like capitalism.
Capitalism.
You
Hell
can-
with
you can-
capitalism.
You can root a lot of shit from competitiveness, even like
Yeah.
natural selection type shit. Too.
Everything, yeah,
like
like,
nature.
Companies,
Yeah.
every company is competitive with somebody else. There is no company on the planet that is the only one in that craft.
Well,
And you can tell
in
if there
some
is a
countries, like industries are nationalized, so I guess
if there
like,
is a company that is like that though, you notice they're not staying above water very long.
Yeah, but even
They're
those
getting taken over.
companies that are a national company like
Yeah.
that, there's a company in a different country doing the exact same fucking thing.
Oh sure, there's no like in Wall-E, what is it like by and large
Yeah.
or whatever? There's no like by and large for Earth.
No, so I
Thank
mean,
God. That'd be
everybody's
terrible.
life, and even your job. I mean, you technically are competing because if you don't do a good job, they're gonna put somebody else in your spot. Like,
Right. Yeah.
there's
You
competition
compete
in
for-
literally everything.
Compete for promotion. Yeah.
It's all a rat race, man.
It is.
You know, with my job, I get to compete with my brother for that promotion. So,
Nice.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's family
This-
turmoil waiting
Family
to happen.
ties.
But this is so my brother and I. So him and I aren't like. So him and I never had like a bad relationship or anything like that. Like we've always been like really cool with each other, and there's always been like that friendly like competitiveness with us. Where like, you know, if I win, then he's like, okay, like whatever, like I'm still your big brother, like ha ha ha, you know,
Sure.
bullshit like that. And we've kind of agreed like before I took the job, I talked with him about this, and I was like, you know, like how are you gonna be like if we're working together? Like I was like, I know like I will be like okay with it, like, you know, if we're like looking for the same thing and you end up getting it over me, like I'm okay with that, like I'm mentally prepared for that.
Well, he's been
And-
there a lot longer too. So,
Yeah. And he's said the same thing. He said, you know, like if you come in and you blow it out of the water and you end up deserving that job more so than I do, he said I'm prepared for that as well. So like him and I have that agreement where we're like, okay.
That's good. He's a
Yeah.
good brother.
He is.
Well,
He
it's almost
is.
just like that degree of like not being kind of a sore loser almost.
Exactly.
Like, look,
Your brother to your brother.
you were doing good. Like, you probably deserve
Now
it, you know.
there's another portion of that of like, yes, like with your brother being in the company already, like say that the company ends up downsizing and they need to get rid of one person of that position and it gets rid of him and not you. That's gonna like, and I'm not saying that would cause things, it probably wouldn't, but that's why some people are wary about referring people to jobs. Like some people are like, I don't want them to get into the job and then fucking take over my spot and then I'm out of job, that's my living, that kind of thing, which I'm not like that. Like I'm trying to get Ryan on with me, but like
Shit.
yeah, that's why Ryan's doing the IT stuff. I'm
Oh,
trying to get
yeah,
him on
yeah,
with me.
yeah.
But like there are some people that, and it was kind of like that with the house a little bit because one of my not co-workers in the same building but in another building is about the same age as me. And he would talk to me about the housing shit, and I would never ever tell him anytime I was looking at a house. Because what if he hops in and swipes one from underneath me?
No, see, that's smart.
That's
That's
like
that's just good common sense.
that's playing the
Because if they're-
system that is given to us.
Right. Well, I mean, you know, there's only so many fucking houses. I mean, it's
Competition.
not exactly 2008 right now, but
Yeah.
there's still, you know.
Yeah, if I'm an hour away from a fucking store, going to a store to get the last one of something, and you're 15 minutes away, I'm not gonna call you on my way to tell you that it's there.
Sure.
Like, it's just, you gotta, those are just things that you weigh. And it's kind of the same with a job in some aspects. Like, sometimes. Like,
Yeah.
and also, referring people is on your fucking name, too. Like,
Right.
Right.
like there's certain people past of our friend group that I would not refer to a job just because I mean, and it honest to everybody. Everybody's admitted it themselves. There's a lot of people that we were good friends with, and some we could technically still be considered friends with that just don't like show up to work, kind of thing. And I'm not gonna
yeah.
fucking.
Yeah, fuck
I'm not
that.
gonna refer somebody that's not gonna show up because then that's on me.
I mean, I can't lie. I've done the thing where I didn't show up to a job, but why would you get a job from your friend and not show up to that shit?
Because
that's
you
not
know
on
that's
you.
on them.
That's like
Yeah,
an
that's
extra
on
level
them.
of responsibility.
Yeah.
'Cause,
Because
like-
that associates their name with you.
And even then, if you're gonna do that, don't do it in like the first 6 months or something. You know.
Well, even
Wait a
if it's
little
like,
bit, fuck.
even it'd be different. Like if John like put his 2 weeks in as like this just isn't for me. That's
Yeah.
totally different. That's
Oh,
a
sure.
respectful way to handle it. That's different.
Without a doubt.
But like with if you just quit showing up,
Yeah.
that's bad.
No call, no show after allocating or advocating for them. Doesn't look good on you.
Yeah, because I mean, even your future employment, like a lot of times they'll call like previous employers,
They'll look at
and they'll be like, "Hey, how was this person?" Like they put it.
I
in-
think in that case, you just wouldn't list it on a resume.
But then they're gonna ask about why there's this big gap.
I mean, just lie to them.
I don't know.
Eh.
I-
I mean,
It's
I don't
be-
know.
the-
I
the-
don't
the
know.
best-
I won't. I mean, I won't lie. Like I think it's important for people to know how to embellish their resumes a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
I mean, that's
Like,
your
I'm not
that's your
saying
time to
outright-
brag.
I'm not saying outright lie
Yeah.
on it, but you could literally just tell them you were just taking time to, you know, like for yourself, or you know, maybe you were just on vacation or traveling. Like, you don't have to tell them the actual fucking reason. You know?
Yeah.
Well, plus you don't even have to include every job on
Yeah,
it either.
exactly.
Like,
Exactly.
That's what he was saying. But then I was saying they would probably ask about why is there this big gap. You know, because they would see
Yeah,
like
I couldn't find
oh
a job.
like from 2016 to 2017 you were here, but then there's nothing until 2019. Like what happened in 17 and
that,
19?
You have to explain that.
Yeah.
Explain those things. Yeah, and they're gonna ask.
Now if it's like a gap like 2 months, it's like
Yeah,
I'm
that's-
looking for a job.
I mean,
like
even like 6 months.
you know,
to-
that's
I feel like even like maybe
up to 6 months, I'd say.
months.
6 months.
up to
7
6 months,
months.
I'd say, is whenever
Well,
it's like
especially like if, and I give the benefit of the doubt to somebody with a degree, because
Yeah.
then they're looking for a specialty position.
Right.
So it may take them longer.
They can
If-
afford to wait.
And like, and I don't judge people without a degree because I don't fucking have a degree.
Sure, man.
But like, having a degree helps.
does someone feel attacked?
I mean, I got half a
No,
degree.
it's-
Wait, I feel like I defended you.
no, I was gonna say that was exactly what I'm doing right now.
yeah,
I didn't
exactly.
Even think about
No,
that.
there's when you have options, there's no sense. It's just like finding a job is almost like dating, you know. You have the website, you swipe right on the ones you want, and the ones that want you call you back.
You're
you
gonna
know?
you're gonna spend a lot of time with it. so you
Yeah,
gotta-
yeah, and then at the end of the day, you juggle your best 2-3 offers, and you see which one wins. You know, it is. You know, it's all a game. It's
I
all
mean,
a game.
it's all a game, and you
the game of
know,
life, man.
you either win or you don't.
I mean, I don't feel like life's that black and white, but
Sometimes I feel like it is. Sometimes I don't.
I don't
Sometimes
know.
it feels like
like
it's
there
very.
are plenty of losers who win a lot.
There's a lot of variables, but like in the grand scheme of things, how much does Jeff Bezos lose? He never loses.
I mean, but we don't know that. We've never met Jeff Bezos. He
His
could be
bank
a mi-
account shows
Who
differently.
gives a? He could be a. You ever read the Bible? What good is a man if he gains the world but loses his soul?
Don't give a fuck.
Jesus, read your Old Testament.
I don't give a fuck. What I do give a fuck about is that man. His losses are totally different than
He's
ours.
probably fucking miserable.
If he loses in anything, the motherfucker can walk out of whatever he lost, money wise, a game, a fucking something, a relationship or something like that. He walks out, buy a Ferrari to make himself feel better.
Sure, but when everything's at your fingertips, doesn't that seem unsatisfying to you?
But see,
'Cause
here's
that seems
I don't
very
disagree.
unsatisfying to me. If I could
I don't
just go out
disagree.
and buy a Maserati tomorrow, that sounds unsatisfying to me.
Sounds
I want to be able
pretty
to
fucking
grind.
satisfying.
I like the grind for it. I like it's
Yeah, there's like
I like the
Like,
grind
I
for
wanna-
some things,
like
but like
for him. I mean, realistically, he's making more money today than we will make if we worked every single hour for the next 5 years at our current
don't
pay
think
rate.
that
like
the-
he doesn't like it's his life to me, a billionaire's life to me in general seems so unsatisfying.
okay,
Seems
so
cold.
is there any thought in your mind that maybe the system that's in place now is made for you to think that way?
Oh, of course.
Because
I mean,
it's
all of our
ingrained in us.
preconceptions are
In
biased.
our class system,
Absolutely.
it is ingrained in us that we don't feel right if we don't work. Like tomorrow, I'm off work. I guarantee when I'm golfing, I'm gonna feel wrong about
no,
it because
no,
it's
I'm
Monday
not-
and I'm not working.
I'm saying he exploits people. I don't think you can be a billionaire without exploiting other people.
I'm sure he does. Yeah.
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Well, yeah. It's just the
I'm
fact.
saying it must be so unsatisfying to have all this money and know that you're just a miserable fucking schmuck
Well,
who didn't earn any of it.
what I'm saying specifically is that I feel like the system is made so that you want the grind. You like the grind. And it,
Sure, but most people want the grind for the end result. They just want the money. I genuinely enjoy just working. Like, I'm just a workaholic.
and I just have this fucking feeling about it because obviously generations past, the further you go back, the less work there was per.
What?
Okay, all the way back. I'm talking like sticks, stones, fires.
Oh, sure, okay.
It's the grind is eating.
Right, well, the grind is finding food and water.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, like
Okay, so-
basic primal survival.
So now that the grind is not now, and I'm not saying in your situation, but in a lot of people's situations, mine, his, the grind is not for you.
Yeah.
It is for them, the company that you work for.
Right.
The grind helps them.
Sure.
What it helps you doing is putting food on your table.
It's a contract,
So
social contract.
yeah, if you
give
can
them time,
love
they
that.
give you money.
I do enjoy the work that I do, but if I didn't have to do it to make that money, fuck no, I'm not doing it.
Really, you wouldn't work?
No.
If I mean, obviously, if I
If
was
you get the
able-
same
Oh,
amount
yeah,
of
no,
money
same.
not working or working,
Well,
I'm doing the not working.
I would absolutely want to have employment of my choice. Like I would have to do something.
Self-employed,
to be
like
That would-
employing yourself.
That would be fine, but it would have to. I would have to make a legitimate. Like I have to be doing something. I can't just do nothing.
That would
Your
give
music.
me
That's
Well,
that's,
sure,
yeah,
but even
that's-
beyond that.
that would give me
under
more
your
time.
own
Sure, but
umbrella.
even beyond that, there'd have to be more.
That's-
I
You
would
want to
get
work for someone?
No. But I would have to just do something else beyond that. I would get so bored. I can't just do that. No.
I want to have the life where I don't work for someone. That is my goal. That is what I want so bad, is to not work for somebody
Oh, I mean,
other than
sure.
myself.
I mean, sure, yeah.
Like that would be the goal. And like I'm doing things for a company, and I love the company I work for, but in the grand scheme of like big companies is like the mentality, and in a lot of places like factories like Ford or whatever,
Sure, yeah.
like they have a union there, but in places that don't have a union, I was just talking to Zach about this the other day, they won't even let you say the word union.
Which is illegal.
Because that supports you.
Right.
That doesn't support the company, that hurts the company, that supports you.
Yeah. We love unions.
And that's the problem, is that mentality has bled so far, because unions are not only not universal or like national thing, like they're rare anymore. And still, like back in the day, there wasn't a ton of fucking unions. So there was.
Well, I was gonna say. I mean, there was 40% of Americans belong to a union. I mean, they held. What Jimmy Hoffa? He held some real fucking power.
The thing is that the places that don't have unions breed this kind of mentality.
Oh, yeah,
It's like
yeah.
you work for us and you enjoy it.
Right.
And eventually you believe that. You
Family
believe
work
that.
culture, what a bunch of bullshit.
Exactly.
They're like, oh, I love when you get to a job, right? And they tell you, they say, you're going to spend more time with us than you are with your actual family. Bitch, fuck you. I'm not spending more time
Yeah.
with you than with my family.
Yes.
I'm not. Sorry.
Yeah.
You know, I have things to do.
Yeah.
I don't want to be here all the time.
My life does not belong to
I-
the company I work for, and I make that
Right.
very clear
Well, and that's-
in what I do.
And that's like, and I greatly enjoy my job. Like, I love my job. It's a professional job. I won't go into it, but like, I mean, it's not my, you know.
my job is
You belong to your company.
Yeah.
my job is very demanding. I'm working 7 days a week. I'm working
You're
365 days a
paid
year.
slave.
It's
Paid. I don't think
So-
slaves can,
yeah. So okay, I work in logistics. For those of you who don't know, I work in logistics, and we have truck drivers that go. Yeah, they do that.
They do go vroom.
But we drive 365 days a
I
year.
wouldn't be too specific here.
Yeah, we drive 365 days a year. In 24/7. We always have guys, so it's kind of like you always got to kind of be on call. Now you know you get PTO and stuff, and they'll bring someone in like if you are like going on a week's vacation or something, or like
But the job don't
mean,
stop.
I went on a weekend vacation in Nashville and was literally working in the car on the way there. One of my buddies drove. I was doing my morning duties Friday morning, driving up there, working in the hotel room and stuff.
So here's with that, like, there's different philosophies. There's one philosophy of work to live, and then it seems like what you do now is live to work.
So basically, the whole thing with this job, what I saw is, I was working at a bank before, and I just didn't see that job going anywhere. I didn't see any future for that job at all.
Yeah.
And I want to be able to do something where, like, I'm setting myself up for success in the future. And there's a lot of jobs in this industry, a ton of jobs in this industry. There's a lot of jobs in this specific company too
Every
that
company's got numbers.
that I can go into, and it's countrywide versus working at a hometown bank. Where you got like 18 locations you can choose from, and then that's it. 18 locations, maybe a couple hundred jobs total within the company. Whereas there's thousands and thousands, and there's probably a couple hundred jobs open right now. You know
what you should do?
What should I do?
You should become a truck driver.
Okay, so I thought about it.
No,
I thought about it.
Really?
I thought about it because I was like, man, like
This is ponytail.
this, because them doing what they do, my drivers versus what I do, yeah, they work their asses off. You know, they could be in a truck for 11 hours a day.
Yeah.
That's kind of like the country, like
truck drivers.
they could be in the truck for 11 hours a day. Our guys aren't over the road. They're all just, they're home every night. And that's good. They work 5 days a week. Could work up to 14 hours a day.
Any of their trucker names?
I do, but so trucker names aren't what they used to be.
Damn.
Like, it's not like Whistle Pig.
My dad's was Whistle
Whistle
Pig.
My grandpa
But, like-
was Leadfoot.
So like my trucker name, if I were to be a trucker, mine would be Wiljo, Wiljo. It's usually like the first couple of letters from your last name and then your first
fucking
name.
boring.
Yeah.
What happened to rubber duck? What happened to Pigpen?
Pigpen!
Fuck, man, you gotta have the good names. Pigpen, this here's a rubber duck, and we're about to go hunting, buddy.
Pigpen is the best nickname that I have ever heard.
Pigpen is the fucking trucker name through and through.
Not just a trucker name.
One of my
There was
relatives.
about 3 weeks where he called me Pigpen.
Did y'all not? Yeah, I
No.
used to call him Pigpen.
There's a relative I have, and
One
I'm not
time
going
it
to
flies
specify
at your
what
house,
relative or names or even what he is to me, but he was Candyman. And the only thing we can assume with the name Candyman is what you could probably assume that he would do on his runs.
Huh. Good for him.
Candy's a great business.
I'm glad he made it. That scares the shit out of me. You know, the force of an exploding tire on a semi, guess how strong it is? It's the strength of a grenade going off. Yeah.
Oh, I believe it. Those things are huge.
Yeah.
They're loud as fuck. I was
Imagine passing
near
one.
one when it blew up. Yeah.
It's fucked.
It fucking shook my car.
Dude, it's nuts seeing like all those like the tires like that are just like in the middle of the road when you're driving down. Like we like coming home from
So we passed one today. I don't know.
coming
if you
home.
saw it
Oh
too.
yeah, definitely. It was in the middle of the lane that I was in too. So I'm like, just like
There was
going
a guy
halfway
with
over.
a cutter that he was on the interstate, like it was like a 75 mile an hour speed limit, and he was right to the left of this semi, and the tire blew out right next to his car. It shattered his
Oh, yeah.
his passenger window.
It's like a fucking IED going off at 60 miles an hour.
Blew
next
up,
to you.
fucking glass, fucking right at him.
Jeez.
He's
It's
probably
wild.
lucky he's alive. Like,
Yeah,
because
it's
imagine that
crazy.
shit happening. It'd probably be pretty easy to just knock right into a cross rail, you know,
Or it could flip
guardrail.
your fucking vehicle if the right force goes in the right,
Right. Well,
places.
you have a little, what is it, the Fiat 500 or whatever, the little tiny ass.
Oh
car.
my god, if
You have one of those.
send that
boom,
motherfucker
where
flying.
You just knock your bitch ass.
Like
right
Ethan's
on.
car.
Yeah.
Send
The little-
Ethan's car to
what is
The
it,
Focus. It's a Focus, isn't it? Or no?
It's not a Focus.
Is it a-
It's
I've got
foreign.
The Focus. Fuck the Focus.
Oh,
It's a
Ethan's got a.
foreign hatchback.
He used to have like a Ford hatchback,
The
like
green one?
the.
the green.
I thought it was a Ford.
No,
I
it's
don't
a
know.
lime green. I don't think it's Ford. I think it's a foreign vehicle. But I think would just run through.
Yeah.
Just run through just shorter. But yeah, one thing I wanted to bring up to you all, I wrote this topic down because I was infatuated with this a couple days ago because I haven't thought about it since I was a kid.
Okay.
And it has to do with music.
Okay.
And I want to know if you all have ever experienced this.
Okay.
So I'm going to read it the way I worded it. And then
Check the notes out. Let's see
check
what
the
it
notes
says.
because lately I've been writing down
The
notes. of
notes app.
topics
The
and
notes
whatnot.
app is in. It's the place on the phone.
I use a lot. I use my notes app for a lot
Okay,
of
Oh my
shit.
God,
so
me too.
when I was a kid,
Yep.
I was probably like 12.
Yep.
Maybe 13. Me and Jacob went to Kings Island and Great Wolf Lodge up there in Ohio, and we stayed there with my parents, and my sister brought her friend. We were all younger, and that it was that year or maybe a month or two before that Pearl Jam released their album Backspacer, I think it's called. It's one of their newer ones. Not a lot of people listen to their newer cuts, but one of them that was pretty popular, I think at the time it was popular, is called The Fixer. Have you all ever heard The Fixer by Pearl Jam?
Possibly.
Well, it's irrelevant to hear it. It's just, that's the song that I'm talking about. So I was in love with that song. And back then, you didn't have streaming platforms, so I had to buy it on iTunes for my iPod.
Sick.
So I bought that song. $1.29, I think it was.
Hell yeah.
And
right to the
so
artist's pocket. I love that.
$1.29,
Yes,
baby.
sir.
So I bought that song, and I was obsessed. And I put it on a playlist, and I was like, damn, I just want to hear that song. I was laying in bed, going to bed, and I'm playing that song, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm just going to put it on repeat and go to sleep. So I put that song on repeat, and I wake up, and it's still playing. So I turn it off, I go take a shower, I'm good. I come out, and I'm going to go on a walk down. Me and Jacob are going on a walk. He had his iPod, so he puts his headphones in. I put my headphones in. We go to the walk to get breakfast with my family. I'm listening to this song, and it sounds entirely different. Entirely, every bit of it sounds wrong. Does not sound the same as the way I heard it the night before.
Oh, yeah.
And this is apparently a phenomena that I had to research.
Huge phenomenon.
This exists. That it is possible that if you fall asleep with a repeating song in your ears, listening to it, you'll wake up and it will sound entirely different. It won't sound the same. And I'm talking drums, the guitar, even the lyrics seem different. Everything sounds different. Especially the drums is what got me the most, because the drums are a very important part of that song, and it fucked me up. I still cannot listen. That song has never sounded the same. It has always sounded like what it sounded like the night after or the day after. And I still remember it in my head. I can still kind of think of what it sounded like beforehand. And then I listened to it off the streaming. It's not the fucking same. And I did my due diligence to make sure I wasn't crazy. Before I even researched the topic, I looked up to see how many versions of that song were created. And that there were 2 studio versions, but I've heard the other version, and it's damn near the same. There's just slight differences in the guitar riff. Everything else is exactly the same as the studio cut that came out. And it sounds 300% different. Sounds like an entirely different song.
You know, I'm kind of curious if it's just like, you know, the first time you listen to a song, it's going to sound different than like the 100th time you listen to it, right? Because you get more and more familiar with like what's happening and stuff like that. So I'm curious, if you fall asleep listening to it and it keeps playing while you're asleep, you're not unconscious when you're asleep, so your brain's still processing it, but you don't realize it. So it's like, if you listen to a song when it first comes out, you listen to it 20 times over like a span of like a week or so. Like, you gradually get more and more familiar with it. But if you listen to it over and over again while you're asleep, you don't realize it, but your brain's like processing what's going on, so it's not as surprising.
But I've definitely listened to songs many more times than I've listened to The Fixer by Pearl Jam at that time. I literally found out about that song on the way up there. So I had not heard it I had only heard it for the first time less than 24 hours before that. And like Blonde. How many times have I listened to Blonde? And the songs still structurally sound the same. I'm saying this song sounds structurally different. Tempo and all. Everything is different.
That sucks.
And it always has been ever since. My mind will not process it the normal way anymore. And that makes me think, are you all hearing, when I play that song, do you all hear the version I used to hear or the version that I hear now?
I mean,
it's kind of like
that work?
That's kind of like what you're saying there. That's almost like, you know, the whole idea of how we see color, because
exactly
how
what I
I
was
see
thinking
color
when you
is
asked that.
going to be different than how you see. Like, we both know that this is gray and that's red, right? But like
The consistency of the color, we don't know
what
that
what red is to you could actually be what blue looks like to me.
Yes, and
you know,
you'll never know.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
can
yeah.
won't.
never know.
You know.
I had one of my, for those who don't know, I was working on a philosophy degree at U of L. One of my classes, we talked about this guy, Thomas Nagel, right? And he had this thing where he talked about bats. This man was fucking infatuated with bats, right? And he talked about, he's like, we could research bats for the next 3,000 years. And he's like, we could know every single thing there is to know about bats. Like, sequence their fucking genome. But we will never actually know what it's like to be a bat, because it's just impossible
Yes.
for a person to ever experience from that perspective.
Yeah.
So it's like we could know all of this about them, but how much do we really actually know?
You can even put a camera behind their eyes to see
Sure,
exactly what they
see
see,
exactly
and
what
it's
they-
still not the same.
Right, and it's, I don't know, it's interesting.
Did you guys ever see that video of the kid that was blind that learned to use sonar to a degree?
I mean, we've all heard the stories about the whistling blind people.
No,
when
I
it
saw a
clicks,
video of
and,
it.
I mean, yeah,
Like, he was,
no,
like, clicking.
No, I know, yeah. They like,
Yeah.
they like click, dude. That's awesome.
I think it's cool as
It's
shit.
so cool.
It's very cool.
Humans are fucking awesome.
I thought about that the other day with that whole Pearl Jam song. And it kind of fucked me up again because like I don't understand it, and there's a whole Reddit subreddit about it, and I don't remember the name of the subreddit, but I could find it.
Is there
You
a
know-
word for it?
No, this is like straight internet sleuth shit. Like there is no
I
like
see.
medical diagnosis of something like this. This is something that is a phenomenon that other people have experienced. And what's fucked up, the reason I looked up why the songs sound different is somebody said The Fixer was one song that they did the exact same thing I did. The Fixer by Pearl Jam. And not even close to their top 20 top songs. Why that song? That's why I researched did they make different versions? There was no other versions other than the one that never was released. And I even listened to that version.
Maybe
and
that
it's-
was you in another life, and you both listened to the Fixer. by
There's a
Pearl Jam
lapse in the
overnight.
universe.
Yeah.
Well, these people on Reddit
The Matrix
are
glitch.
like will put songs out and like try to describe how it was different, just to see if people. And there's people in the comments that will be like, "That's how I heard it the first time, and now I put it in my ears to go to sleep, and it sounds different."
I mean, side
this
note,
time.
that's so bad for your ears to listen to music.
Yeah, it's awful. It was
Oh my
dumb,
God.
and ever since I never did it because it ruined music.
Yeah.
It ruined that song. I
Anything
loved
more
that
than-
song.
Anything more than an hour, you need at least a 15-minute break.
You know, I will say, I very recently actually have gone to sleep listening to a song, because it was actually for my Heritage show. There was a song so the show was on a Saturday, brought a song up on Thursday, and I'm like, I need to learn these lyrics fast. So like I was listening to that song like all the time, like singing along with it. If I messed up, restarting it. If I messed up, restarting it until I got it right. Right. So I still couldn't get it like the night before the show, and I'm like, oh geez. So like I turned it on and listened to it, but it still didn't sound different to me. It sounds different to me now because from doing that, I've burnt myself out on that song. Like, don't get me wrong, I still like the song, but
Different from Burnout. It's hard for me to describe this. Like there are songs that I've listened to so many times that I don't enjoy them as much as I used to. Like Frank Ocean, the Moon River song. I played the fuck out of that song. I don't enjoy it as much as I used to. I still like it, but it's not really that it sounds different. It's my reaction to it is different. My brain's mental response to hearing that song is different.
Yeah.
This
like
I'm
cows.
saying is auditorily entirely different. Like if you have drums going boom boom boom, but now you go to sleep and you wake up and it's boom
Ba-boom.
boom 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 boom. Like it's totally different. Like
that is whack.
entirely auditorily
bada bop
different.
boom pow.
Tonight I actually might try to do that.
Do it to a song that you
What? That's
don't
so
love.
bad.
Well,
for
I'm
your
gonna
ears.
do it
That's
with
so
that
bad for
song
your
because I've never
ears.
even heard that song.
Do it with that song.
Boy, playing in a band is bad for your ears. Our ears are already fucked.
My
Like,
God. Oh my God.
I don't give a shit.
These are the
anymore. I hope
money
I'm
makers,
dead. I hope I'm dead by the
boys.
time I'm 30.
Shut up! Don't
at this
say
rate,
that.
Jordan, we probably will be.
You're
At
probably
this
gonna
rate.
have hearing
Bro,
deficiencies all of you.
being
Your boy
deaf-
plays drums
being
with no
deaf would
headphones on.
suck. Being deaf
It'll
would
get
suck.
you.
You'd
Yeah.
have to have one of the big old horns that people used to have by their ear. He said, fuck getting a cochlear implant. He's like, give me the horn.
Give me the horn. I need
I
it.
need to be able to listen.
So do your ears still ring when you play drums?
Or well, like if I'm playing drums, yeah.
I mean,
Do your
Immediate.
ears
Yeah.
pop after
It's
you
like-
leave? Like, do you have a pop?
No, it's more like
pain.
if I
Blood.
a lot of times when I'm playing drums, I'll tilt my head that way, like because I don't know why I do that. I've seen other drummers do that too, but like, so the cymbal will be right here, so it'll be like in direct earshot. If I hit that cymbal a bunch, and that song, after the song's over, it feels like I got like a cotton ball in that ear.
That is probably terrible.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
horrid.
Anytime
But-
you can hear your hearing dampened at all, that is actual damage to your ears.
All I know.
Yeah.
That's happened
Yeah.
plenty of times. There's a few times before we started doing the in-ear stuff. The in-ear stuff has helped significantly because obviously, like, it's the rubber tips on it, so
Yeah.
like it seals the outside noise and you can control how loud it is. So having the in-ear stuff changed everything. But before we had the in-ear stuff and everyone was just playing their amps hella loud to be over my drums, I would be. We would like go outside to smoke a cig or something like whenever we were done, or I would be like getting in my car when we were done, and I would sit in my car for a second and just both ears would just be like this crazy
that
ringing.
sound
Yeah.
makes me sick. Like
Well, that's-
the feeling of that
it's
literally
terrible.
makes me nauseous.
I got used to it. It doesn't really
Yeah, I was
bother
gonna
me.
say I've got mad tinnitus.
Yeah.
It's called tinnitus.
My dad has tinnitus.
I've got mad tinnitus too. I have to sleep with rainforest noises at night.
My dad says
'Cause I
his
can't-
ears
it's just-
ring at all times of the day, 24/7.
Yeah,
7
it's
days a
hell.
week.
It sucks.
Yeah.
We definitely if we aren't already like diagnosed with it, you know,
We'll get it.
we will definitely be
See,
getting
I
it.
don't have it outside of that though. Like if
we
I-
You will.
We will.
You
Well,
will.
it will,
So
but like I think it's baffling that I don't. From all like growing up, from like me and Ryan and me and John being down in the basement playing drums and shit.
Well,
playing
you
stuff really
still
loud.
have young
You were pliable
ears,
then.
I
technically.
guess, but I'm just thinking more like the constant exposure to that for the last,
Well, it's
7-8 years. You know,
it's so surprising how like little sound can damage your ears. Like if I were to go up and just scream in your ear right now, max volume, I could have a chance of bursting your eardrum.
oh, it hurt.
Yeah, absolutely. I have to wait. No, I can't talk about that. But it was about work. I don't want to go
Uh-oh.
into it.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah.
Well, regardless, I think. Yeah, I listen to music pretty loud, but you all
Yeah.
create music really loud. So
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
constant. I don't think
It's bad.
I don't know if I'd be able to do that. And like even like shooting guns,
Mm-hmm.
I anything over a 9mm or something like that is
Even then.
too loud for me.
See, I have zero problem using it like headphones or something if I'm
Yeah.
shooting a gun. Like,
my God.
Like
Yeah.
a 12
Like, I hate
gauge,
that shit.
I can't shoot a 12 gauge without.
It's the sudden burst of sound.
Yeah.
Like that's a lot.
Well, like the 9mm, that's a loud round, but it's not that loud. The shotgun.
You can get away with like that's probably the limit of what you can get away with without needing
Yeah.
like an earpiece.
Yeah. Once you get into the shotgun shots, like that over under that Stilger has, that 12 gauge over under, that motherfucker is loud.
Yeah.
That is loud
sure it
as
is.
shit. And he didn't have any ear covers, and we were throwing clays.
God.
And I
man.
literally mean we were tossing them like frisbees to shoot them. Like the most redneck possible way to shoot clays.
Go out there and get my clay. Go shoot.
It essentially works the same way.
Yeah,
I've seen
yeah.
it all of it. I mean,
How far can I don't think I've ever actually shot clays. Like how
It's
far
fun.
do they? I assume. I mean, I'd love to do it one day.
I'll
but-
I'll give you a good visual. I'll give you a perfect
I
visual.
mean, I know how it goes. I've seen The Crown. In The Crown, they do it.
So, okay, perfect visual for it.
Mm-hmm.
If you're standing, you know where my porch is on my house,
Mm-hmm.
like on my trailer part there, right? If you step off the porch, off the side, like closer to like where like the railroad tracks on that side of the house.
Yeah.
If you step off, stand right there. If you're shooting clays off there, the distance that they will go will reach right at the top of like the tree line there, and they'll fall just at the top of the tree line. That's when they fall, and that's
if
how
have
far
a
you shoot
clay
them.
Shooter.
That's the distance that it's kind of supposed to
Right,
be.
which I've seen the
Just
clay
the whole-
shooter.
Chuck
but
it like a frisbee.
just chucking it like a frisbee.
25 yards.
Well,
Yeah.
we would. Okay,
You're
so
just gonna go bang, and then
You walk up to Stilger's porch, and you know how you've got the 2 chairs on the backside, and then the woods behind that.
Yes.
Standing right on the other side of that railing, we would throw it, and it wouldn't even make the tree line.
Bro.
And we would just throw it up, and plah! It's fun.
That's
Well,
tough,
the real fucked up one, and Josh wouldn't care if I told this story. We were shooting at Stilger's house. Y'all love this one. Yeah, none of you were there. I thought maybe one of you was there, but no. It was just me, Jacob, and Ethan, I think. Josh used to have an adult products business.
How have we not talked about that?
He had
How
a
have we
business
not
where
talked about
he
this?
sold video, adult movies.
Sex toys. He
Sex
sold
toys.
sex toys.
He sold
Let's just
sex
say
toys and
Yeah.
porn. So
Yeah, which there's nothing wrong with either of those. It's and
I
honestly,
completely forgot about that.
he did it in a dirty business. He ran a clean operation.
Clean operation.
Clean is
Dirty
not a
business.
word.
Now
that I would
finding the
use.
fake pussies and asses
Underneath
at
couches
Stilger's
and
house,
shit?
That was the
that was a
funniest
bit
shit.
much.
It was like
that was
Easter
a bit
eggs.
much. Well, I remember going around, the fake ass, and people would just
You know how we found that thing?
in the box, right? Well,
No,
it
it was in the barn with the barn cats.
Yeah.
There was a barn cat laying on top of it like a fucking nest, and it was a full-blown like fake silicone ass. And like this cat's just chilling on it. And we were talking about going and getting it, and then we were throwing it at each other. Well, there was one that was like almost a full torso with no arms and no legs, but it had like the regular extremities. And we put it at the end of the cornfield, and we're popping it with a fucking AR. It was when that Ultimate Warrior show was.
And they say
Ultimate Warrior?
and they say people don't need AR.
Deadliest Warrior?
Deadliest Warrior. We were doing that shit. We fucking took food coloring and like injected it into it. It did not do it like the fucking show did, but it was a sex toy with fucking food coloring in it. I didn't know what we expected.
That's too much, dog.
Hey, speaking of Deadliest Warrior, that was the coolest fucking show.
I loved it.
It's not
Great
on.
show.
It's not on anything. Like,
I don't know if I ever watched it.
It was a
such
Discovery
cool
thing.
fucking show.
Wasn't it
It
on
was on
Discovery?
Spike.
Spike.
Because I used to
Spike had
record
some
them.
heaters, man.
I used
Wait,
to
no.
record them.
Wasn't it produced by the History Channel though?
Wait, which one was
History
that?
Channel wasn't even history.
What was like the?
Like they
It's
would
Pawn
take
Stars.
like one of them was I don't know. Like,
Is it where they would take like two things and they would like
Like
simulate the
Green
battles?
Berets versus Samurais or something.
And it would be like they would simulate a battle. Of
Yeah,
that?
at the end.
Yes.
They would
Okay,
do,
yes.
like, similar
Yeah.
like similar things. Like it would be like there was one that was like KGB against
Green
some,
Berets, I
yeah,
think
it was something like or like Navy SEALs or something like
Yeah.
that. Or it was like a. I remember there was one they literally did North Korean special ops against Marines or something like that.
They,
That was like a
they would
special-
always like with knives and swords. They would have these like full torsos of like jelly-looking shit. That's
It
like
was
supposed.
ballistic gel. I think
Yeah,
that's what they
Yeah.
call it.
ballistic
ballistic.
gel.
That's
It was
what they
like
called
supposed
it.
to
That's what they
simulate
would use.
human bodies.
Yeah.
And you'd see those motherfuckers going up, getting all intense, going yeah, just
Yeah.
fucking stabbing these fucking jelly
It's
dudes.
the best job in the world, getting paid to stab silicone cutouts of people.
It
How
sounds
much money
so
do you
much
think he
fun.
made per stab?
They would literally, especially like if they would have like a samurai or if it would be like a historic warrior that would be like swords and shit. It would be like
Yeah.
they would bring in two people. It would be like a historian and like an arms expert in that culture's fighting, and it was the coolest shit to see because they would remake the weapons for it and everything.
That's
Yeah.
so cool.
That was like my
That
favorite
was
part
really
about
fucking
it. is they
cool.
make
I
all
love
old
that
swords
show.
and
Have you all
Bad.
ever seen Forged in Fire?
Yeah.
Yeah, that plays in
My
our
dad
house
likes
on
that
the
a lot.
shitty reality.
I
TV
like
show.
that show. I like that show.
I think it's interesting
okay.
to have one in the background.
okay.
I can't sit down and watch it.
Shows
I sat down and watched it all with my dad one time. Like we watched the entire thing. Yeah,
One sitting?
it was probably a couple days, but like we watched the entire
Straight.
thing.
Jesus.
That's a lot of
We didn't-
fire, buddy.
That is a lot
Dude,
of
well,
force.
it's you see all these different knives and weapons that they're making like from scratch and stuff, and it's neat to see that. There's actually a guy in downtown here that has a forge. I talked to him one day, and he was like,
Stoker has one too now.
Just got
he was like, yeah, like if you want to come out sometime, like I'll let you make something. I've got 2 like smithing stations. You can come out, like it's this much, and you get to take home what you make.
Why
like,
can't
there's
we
a
do
there's
that
a
for
lesson.
the SchmutzCast?
We should. That'd be
We
fun
should.
as
I'd be
shit.
down.
Videos
Then we
of-
gotta fight
Yeah, fight to the
with
death.
the swords we make.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
wear like togas, like.
I'm gonna make a really long sword. That way I just like can stay
I
over
really
here.
I'm gonna
would
make
want
a
to do
knife.
that. Making your own sword is like some of the manliest shit.
It would
you
be
can do.
really
Yeah,
fun to
it
do.
is
I
really
can't
cool.
see myself making
Just
like
a
a
dagger or
whole
something.
hobby out of it, but I would like to do it.
Tell
at
him we'll
least
fucking
once.
pay him.
How
If we can fucking.
I'm curious how much it is.
Yeah.
I don't remember what he
We should
said.
talk to Stilger about it, bro.
Stilger needs. He has to get like mold. He has to make like molds and shit. This guy probably already
Person,
has
this
a
will-
mold.
this will probably be
Stilger
more
3D
ideas.
prints the molds. That's what he does.
He's gonna 3D print a whole sword mold.
Well, I mean, he did for the smaller stuff. I didn't.
Yeah,
know
but
that.
We're talking
it's
about
gonna
making,
melt
big
that
ass
shit.
swords, though.
It's gonna
I
melt
mean,
that
oh,
shit.
okay. I mean,
Because
yeah, we
like
could definitely try that.
that 3D print
That sounds
material is gonna melt when that smelter gets that.
Well,
that,
it
It is just
like,
plastic.
liquid
well,
metal.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
This is like he does more than just like the extent of like the weapons that he does is like knives, you know.
Well, let's branch
So
it
like
out.
he
Let's get some big ass claymores, baby.
he does like he does a lot of like have you seen those? They're like little like candle holders that like are spiraled
Oh,
that
right.
like hold
Is it
the
candelabra?
kind of, but like they're it's like a piece of metal that's spiraled up, so like it's exposed like in between each curl, you know, the candle is exposed in there, and there's like a little wooden thing that like as the candle goes down, you just kind of spin this wooden thing around and it lifts up the candle more. Like he's made stuff like that. I've seen that
cool.
stuff before. So he doesn't only do like weapons. He does like
I really would like
knickknacks,
to look into that because I
fashion
do think that would be kind of a fun thing.
Yeah, do it, and we could get it on fucking video of us fucking smithing our own fucking swords.
Yeah.
That would be
It
cool.
would be fun. It would
Then
fun
we then
without
we then we
it,
find one of the old sex dolls and
cut 'em up.
Dice that bitch
I mean,
up.
Deadliest
still got it.
Warrior.
I'm sure
Yes,
one
sir.
at
Still got
least
something
one
there.
exists in that property.
Oh yeah.
At least one.
Maybe
We gotta start looking
Maybe.
under the couches and shit again.
Oh yeah. I mean, you start. Well, I helped move furniture there the other day, and god damn, that was awful.
I have an idea
had
as
to
to
lay
where
on the
some might be
fucking
stored. I have an idea where some might be stored in that house. Like I have some ideas.
In
You could look in any crevice, and it would be just as likely as any other crevice in the
Yeah.
house.
definitely
It would be just
Bob's
as
chair is the only area that I don't expect it
closet
to
in the fake bathroom.
be. Yeah, we call that the half bath, not because of its size, but because of its abilities.
yeah.
We'll leave that.
Yeah.
Leave that on that.
So that has been number 11. We are on double digits, and we are now officially on Apple Podcasts. Woo!
Say
That has been our
less.
Yay.
most
Saw
requested.
that. I was so excited.
We have had so many requests.
For realsies?
Like many requests to put on Apple Podcasts because a lot of people don't understand that you can listen to podcasts on Spotify for
Anywhere.
free. You don't have to have
Yeah.
premium.
Do we have any questions for this week? Did we check?
Oh, yeah.
I'll check again, but
Check again.
yesterday we did not have any,
Check
so
again.
I didn't check. But I'll check real quick. No, we don't have any questions.
Well, maybe
we-
next week, huh?
We did, and I mentioned this on me and Spencer's episode, but I'll mention it again. We got a donation this week, and I really appreciate the person that did that. Thank you. You didn't
Wow.
have to, but I appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
So that's going into the Schmutz Fund.
Say thank you, boys.
Thank you.
Thanks, friend.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
That's gonna go into the Schmutz Fund. We're gonna work on trying to get. I need to get some of my own equipment. Like 90% of this shit is John's stuff.
Yep.
Shout
And
out,
he
John.
has to like haul it here all the fucking time, and I feel bad. But I'd like to get my own interface, some mic stands, things like that, and that
Plus,
is
it'll
just
go towards
helping.
going to design the new room too. the
Yes.
new-
Yeah,
Yes.
we're gonna get a new studio.
We got the
for
new
season
studio
2.
for season 2, and it's gonna be fucking awesome. We can even green screen that bitch if we wanted to.
Shit.
We could.
Say
So, I mean, we could even
a
do a
good idea.
podcast in the Sahara.
Dude.
I think that's
But
a
I'm
totally
pretty
good
hyped
idea.
for that.
Sure.
So it probably is not going to be within the next episode. It definitely won't be within the next episode. But the following episodes will be questionable. I will have an episode out regardless of what's going on. We will have an episode. We're not missing.
Hell
we haven't
no.
missed yet. We won't miss ever.
Wait, episode with Spencer.
Yeah, that's a side thing.
Oh.
I'm not.
And you'll know when we're in the new room. You'll know.
Well, yeah, they'll see it.
We should
Yeah.
just try to make it look exactly like this room.
Well, I could take a picture of this and we could green screen this.
Like same studio, new room.
Well, this week has been great
What a great,
and
great pod.
hell at the same time. A lot of stress, and then that donation came through, and that was pretty hype. I appreciate the person that did, and anybody that wants to donate. We appreciate every bit of it. It's at Papa Schmutz on Venmo, and then you can go through the site, the SchmutzCollective.GoDaddySites.com, and you can also ask questions there. New videos coming soon on the Papa Schmutz gaming channel. Check out my stream. I stream exclusively on YouTube now. And yeah, this has been episode 11. Anybody got anything they want to plug?
Thanks to our sponsor, Anchor.
Yes, thank you very
Thank
much
you,
to
Anchor.
Anchor.
Thank you, Anchor.
You probably heard that ad before we even started, but
Wow.
thank you for that. That is helping. It's not the greatest income, but it's an income nonetheless. It's helpful. So if you could just
That's right. A modest sum for
enjoy
a humble
that
podcast.
ad. It's a minute long, 1 minute of your
Well, don't
time.
just enjoy the ad. Go check that shit out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make a podcast. What's
what
it
we
gonna
did.
hurt? All you gotta do is download the app. You can do it straight on your phone.
Download the app.
Download the app.
Download
And
the
also, don't forget to, if you're joining us on YouTube, hit that subscribe button.
Like it.
Hit that follow, or is it? I guess it is a subscribe.
Subscribe
Yeah,
button.
Yeah, hit that like button.
Yeah.
Drop a comment down
Like
here.
and sub.
We'd like to hear what y'all are thinking.
Yeah. Go
Thanks,
follow
guys.
all of us on Instagram. Jordan Werner. It's underscore Jordan Werner, right?
Honestly, I don't remember.
It's
Bro.
Jordan Werner something.
I think
We'll post
it's
it. We'll
Jordan
post it
Bauer.
down below.
all the links are on the fucking
Yeah.
on the thing. Anyways, if you
Check
want to
the-
follow
check
us,
the
follow
thing.
us.
Talk to the lady.
Big stuff coming from all three of you guys very soon, I'm sure.
A single dark room drop in October 28th with a video.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Yep.
Rock on, fellas! Rock on, rock on. Working
I've
on a new project,
Yeah, I've been
eh?
cooking like crazy, so I'll probably put some shit out here soon. I made this song called Fish. They hate it, but it's been stuck in my head all damn day. So I don't know.
Well, you sent me so many bangers in a row, then send me that one, and that's the one you're most passionate about. I'm
No,
like,
it's
what
not.
the
It's
fuck?
not. I honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I don't even like that song. It's just been stuck in my head.
I get that.
Yeah.
I get that.
Anyway, coming soon.
John, you
Yep.
got something coming down the pipeline?
Yep. Be on the lookout. I've started to kind of post a little bit about it and sending some stuff out. Haven't changed. Will be the next song that I have coming out.
It's good.
It's gonna be. It's gonna be a.
That's not the one you sent me the other. Beautiful.
It's gonna be a single. Not working on an EP yet. It might go on an EP later on, a second cut of it or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, be on the lookout for posts on that. The date on it is still pending. So, but I'm hoping to get it out before the end of the year.
Beautiful. Well, that's been episode 11. It's been fun. I'm Papa Schmutz.
I'm Jordan Werner.
I am Brandon Keeper.
And I'm Johnny Will.
Thanks for joining us. Y'all have a good week. See y'all next week. Appreciate y'all.
That's right.
Peace, peace, peace.